How am I supposed to follow that? I'm supposed to get up and walk out of here. Well, welcome. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm Stephen Esperinio, class of '04. I'm just, again, really happy to be here and wanted to kind of, share with you some of my experiences, and then how it relates to Cornell. We're going to get into that shortly, and it's really an honor to be here with this panel too. I mean, following, Dennis Sweeney is quite an honor. So, that said, my story as far as coming into Cornell was I was traditionally a culinary background. And I graduated from the Culinary Institute of America. In addition to Cornell, I was cooking at one of Drew Nieperent's restaurants. You're probably all familiar with him, the man, from Myriad Restaurant Group. And it was in Boca Raton. He had been pretty much my mentor following my graduation from CIA. I was working at Nobu under Iron Chef Morimoto, and then I worked at Tribeca Grill, and then I went down to Florida at Luca restaurant at the Boca Resort and Club. This was following graduation from CIA, and he walked up to me one day and, for whatever reason, said, Stephen, there's things other than cooking with fire and playing with knives. And I said, there is, and he told me about Cornell University, and actually the director of F&B at the time at the Boca Resort and Club, Victor Tiffany, who heads up the Borgata in Atlantic City, was also a Cornell alum, and they kind of just sat me down in Drew's lead, and they told me all about the school and the School of Hotel Administration, and what wonders that it can create if you follow the right path. So, long story short, Drew made the introductions. I applied to the school, and in 2002, I was at Cornell taking 22 credits a semester because I didn't want to spend the money to take another additional semester up there. It's kind of for good reason, and spent the summer up in Ithaca working in some wineries, Herman J. Bieber to be specific, and my kind of individual Cornell connection was with Stephen Wojtkowski. My focus, and I'll speak to this a little bit when I go in after the introductions about who I am as far as my background is concerned, but one of my focuses other than food is wine. So the wine professor, Stephen Wojtkowski, actually lived at his apartment at the bottom of his house, and kind of created a cool relationship. He let me rent out his place, and I helped him with different activities. I was a TA for a number of the food and beverage related classes, and then from there kind of left and went to Las Vegas following graduation. Not to drown too much into it, but that was kind of the start of my wine career. I was one of the youngest sommeliers in the United States. I was the youngest in the U.S. at 19 to pass the United States Sommelier Association's examination, and I was the youngest to pass level 1 for the Quartermaster Sommeliers at 2 days after my 21st birthday. I wanted to take one when I was 17, but they wouldn't let me. They said I had to do it, so that was unfortunate. But in any case, so Vegas, worked for Michael Mina, wine director there, then run 2 wine programs at Caesar's Palace. And then from there, Top Chef came around. And did everyone catch the premiere of Top Chef All-Stars last Wednesday?
Yes. Yay!
Very good. It was a very exciting show, and as anyone who did watch the show, I was a little bit rusty. But and that kind of goes to show that I hadn't been in the kitchen in many years. I've been focusing on other things, and it's been a great experience. But Top Chef, and this kind of ties to what my topic's going to be in a few minutes, is what it's doing for the industry, the Food Network. I mean, it really is kind of opening everyone's eyes. It was an amazing experience, and I did fairly well as a sommelier competing with chefs the first season, which started it all before Masters and Just Desserts and everything else with Chef Tom Colicchio and a number of others. And now we're on All Stars, and we're rocking that out. It's the second episode on Wednesday, so please tune in, 10 p.m. on Bravo. Watch what happens, and that's it. So I'm here now in New York City. Reside on Wall Street. I work down there. My offices for my hospitality firm, SA Hospitality Innovations, are there, and I'm working on my next restaurant project, Pizza Vino. It's going to be a food and wine driven concept, more focused on wine, being very wine-centric and bringing wine to the masses at a very cool and approachable price point, similar to Chipotle, but minus the burritos and beer at the pizza and wine. So, and I'm also writing my next book, which will be out next year, called Eat and Drink Until You Die.
He's like half his age, and he had just as much to say. That's pretty good. Yes. Anyway, I don't have that much to say because I've had the same job for the last 11 years, but